Hey everybody, it's Joyce, your Expressive Arts Coordinator at Fellowship Place, and I'm back with another art directive for the week. I'm really excited about this week's project because we are going to be making prayer flags, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what prayer flags are in the next section. So keep watching. Peace or prayer flags were inspired by the prayer flags of Tibet. According to ancient tradition, the prayers printed on flags are carried in the wind. The traditional flags are blue for the sky, white for air and clouds, red for fire, green for water, and yellow for earth. Peace and prayer flags allow you to express some of the most important prayers, hopes, and wishes of your heart. In words or pictures, you can display positive wishes for yourself, your family, your friends, community, or the world. You can create flags to be especially for one person, or affirm a concept that you would like to see in the world. Prayer or peace flags are believed to bring happiness, long life, and prosperity to those who create them. Today we will make our own versions of prayer flags with meaningful colors as well as prayers, hopes, and wishes for ourselves and others during this difficult time. Okay, so for this week's project, you are going to need the following materials. 1, you will need some paper. I'm going to use some colored paper, but you can use plain paper if you have it. You are also going to need string, any color, any kind, and if you don't have string at home, check an old shoe for a shoelace or something that might be wrapped up in your house. I bet if you really looked, you could find some string. The next thing you're going to need is adhesive of some kind. So I'm going to use tape, but you can use a stapler, you could use glue, or tape. You are also going to need something to draw with, and I suggest using markers for this project. But again, you are totally welcome to use crayons, colored pencils. It's totally up to you, just something to draw with. And the final thing, which is like a maybe, because I did teach you how to tear really well in a video 2 weeks ago, is scissors. If you don't feel like tearing and you have scissors available, grab some scissors to cut the paper. Okay, those are your materials, and stay tuned for the next step. Okay, so now that you know a little bit more about the history of prayer flags, it's time to start making our own. The first step is to pick out, if you're using colored paper, 5 pieces of paper with colors you love. You all know that I love bright colors, so these are my choices, and I'm so excited to use them. Also, if you don't have colored paper, you can just use regular white paper, the back of an old piece of paper, and just make sure that you have at least 5 pieces available. The next step is to cut them into squares so they fit well on the string. Okay, so the first step of making our prayer flags is to cut the paper to the right size. And to be honest with you, there's no science about this. It's just sort of eyeballing it so there's enough space to create the image on the prayer flag and have enough space to fold it over the string. So we'll get to all that in a second. But for now, I'm just going to take each of my pieces of paper and just simply cut it in half. Don't focus on having them be the perfect size or to have a straight line on each paper. Just cut them all in half. And you can even do 2 at a time if you'd like. All right, so now take one of each of these pieces of paper to use for one of the 5 pieces of your prayer flag. There we go. I got my 5 prayer flag pieces right here. All right, stay tuned for the next step. Okay, so eventually we are going to be hanging each of these pieces of paper on this string to make our prayer flags. So the next step is to just make sure we have enough paper in order to hang it from the string. So I'm just using this as an example. If you place the string here and fold the piece of paper over, you are sure to have enough space to put a piece of tape here, glue, or staple, so that when you hang the prayer flag, it is secure and hangs really beautifully. So what I would do next is take the string out and just simply fold each of the pieces of paper you're going to use for your prayer flags on top of the original fold, sort of as a template. Again, it's not about being perfect. It's just about making sure you have what you need to complete each flag and have it hang beautifully. So now we have 5 pieces of paper with folds. Why don't you go ahead and do that step and we'll check in soon. All right, so hopefully you're with me so far and you have your 5 pieces of paper, whether they're colorful or plain, all folded over so they're ready to be hung after we decorate them. So next step is to create what goes on each prayer flag. So stay tuned, we're gonna go through that right now. All right, so we're on to the next step. And the next step is to identify the 5 prayers, wishes, or hopes that you have for yourself and for the world right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write them down on the back of the prayer flag, so the side that has the fold, before I start decorating. So I'll do that. Why don't you do the same, and we'll check in for the next step. Okay, so hopefully in that last step you identified the hope, prayer, or wish that you would like to depict on each of the different prayer flags. So you can see I did that for mine. Just a few examples. And the next step is to spend as much time as you need creating a visual representation of each of those hopes, wishes, or prayers that you said you wanted to cover on each of the prayer flags. So take your time with this, have fun, use any or all materials that you have, and let's check in after everything's been created. Then we will figure out how to hang it all on a piece of string. Okay, have fun. Talk soon. Okay, so I just finished making the visual representation of each of the hopes and prayers and wishes that I identified, and I hope you're with me so far. The next step is to hang them on a piece of string so they're ready to hang outside, inside, wherever you want. So stick around for the next step while I show you how to put a piece of string in them. For the step to figure out how to hang each prayer flag on a piece of string, you are going to put them all in a pile, as you see I did, and put the front of the flag facing down and the fold facing up, just like this. The next step is you are going to have your string ready, and you're going to start on one end of the string and place it in the crease of the folded piece of paper. You're going to get your piece of tape ready. I'm using some heavy duty tape, and you are going to fold it over and secure it with a piece of tape. Now you can do as much tape as you want. I don't feel like I need more than this, but if you want to fill it up all the way to the end, you can. And remember, you can also use a stapler or glue to stick this piece of paper down. So once you've gotten one prayer flag folded and secure, you're going to move it down, keeping the string attached, and place it in the next crease. Fold down the piece of paper, grab your piece of tape, my noisy tape, and secure it. Then you'll move the other 2 pieces down, keep undoing the string, and place it in the crease, fold the piece of paper over, and pull a noisy piece of tape and attach it on the back. All right, I'll keep going till the end, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right, everybody, check it out. I got my prayer flags done. I hope that you like the way that yours turned out, and find a cool place to put them up. Maybe a blank wall, maybe between 2 branches on a tree outside. It's totally up to you, but make sure you utilize them in a very special way for yourself. And otherwise, I will see you next time for the art directive next week. Be well and talk to you soon.